Hello patrons, welcome back to another tutorial series. So in this series we are going to be focusing on how you can get a really accurate sketch ready for your drawings. So I'm going to be showing you 3 different methods in this tutorial series. Firstly, I'm going to be showing you how you can use a monitor or a light box to transfer your sketch directly, and this is probably the easiest way that you can get an accurate sketch. And then in the next episode, I'll be showing you how you can use the grid method to get an accurate sketch. And lastly, I'm going to be showing you how you can freehand it, as well as using a pencil to help create measurements and use basic guidelines in that way. And that will be the hardest method. So I'm going to work from the easiest method and go all the way up until the hardest method, and you can try all of them out and see which one you like best. So here I've got a glass of water, which I'm going to be doing in another tutorial series. And so the first thing that I did was I took the photo and I created a sketch mode for it. So the website that I used is called iPicky.com, and it's a free website. And I just opened up the image and then I went over to the filters section and I picked the filter called Pencil Sketch, and I just used what it automatically does the settings as and click apply to that filter, and then I go ahead and I save that. And this just means that you can see more of the outlines a lot more clearly rather than just seeing the normal photo. It kind of shows you more clearly what all of the individual outlines that you will need to trace are. So it's more clearer and they'll show up better through your paper. So then what I do is I take my drawing paper and I open up the photo and I overlap my drawing paper onto the monitor, and I just use a bit of tape just to secure that to the monitor. So I have a lot of comments in my YouTube channel saying, does this damage the monitor and won't you scratch it with your pencil? And when I do this, I don't apply pressure to the pencil at all. I create a really light sketch, and then if I need to darken it up, I will darken it up once I take it off the monitor. So I am never applying lots of pressure onto the actual monitor. I'm not pushing down on my pencil at all. I'm just barely touching the paper. And that's all you need to do, because remember, we want to have a really light sketch. When you are doing your initial sketch, it just needs to be really light. You don't have to have a dark sketch because you don't really want your lines to show up through your colored pencil work or your markers or anything that you're using. So I take the lightest pencil, normally a 5H, and I just very lightly use this to basically mark out all of those outlines. So when you put it into sketch mode, as you can see, I just need to follow the lines that are on the screen. It's really simple, and this way means that you can get a really accurate sketch without having to do much kind of work. It's not really difficult. So I use this quite a lot when I have lots of things that I need to get done, lots of deadlines, or if I'm doing commissions and I want to get a really accurate sketch and make sure that it's perfect. So if I'm doing a commission and the person needs to look exactly like the reference photo, it would be good to use this method. And like I said, if you already can master the other ones, then this is just a tool you can use to quicken up your kind of working speed and get lots and lots done and be really productive. I recommend mastering the other methods so that you know how to kind of freehand and do it without the tracing method. But this is a great tool to use once you kind of want to practice things and try lots of new techniques out, and you want to make sure that your sketch is really accurate. So like I said, I just go over all of these main lines. You can take the paper away from the monitor and see if you've missed anything, because you can't really tell which lines you've gone over, so you might miss a few. But you can work in a kind of systematic method. You know, you might want to start from the top left corner and work your way sort of down and around the drawing. It depends on what you want to do. So I kind of just jump around quite a lot. I don't know why. But yeah, I tend to look to see if I've got all of the things done by pulling it away from the monitor and checking it. And then if I notice that there is a section that I haven't gone over, then I'll just put it back on the monitor exactly where it was before and just go over that certain area. So I do use a sharp pencil so that we can get some nice clean lines. Once you've done this, your lines might be a bit kind of messy because you might have gone over certain areas more than once. And so you can clean up your sketch once you've done this, because everything will be accurate, so you can keep going over the sketch and just kind of erase any bits that you don't want. So I tend to sketch out every single line that's on the monitor, on the reference photo, and then if you find that it's too much, there's too much detail and you want a more kind of simplistic version, then you can just lightly erase all of the extra little lines that you don't want. But it's good to have them all sketched out first, and then you can erase all the unnecessary ones that just kind of get in the way and make it hard to look at. Because I find if your sketch is too detailed, then it's just kind of hard to figure out what everything is. But that's what I do after. I'll go and erase certain areas that I don't want. Another thing is to really take your time with this. Don't rush it. And also make sure that you're not applying pressure, because if you do, then you could damage the screen, and you really don't want to do that. So the most important thing is to apply no pressure at all. You might think that it's not showing up, but once you take your paper away from the monitor, you'll see that the pencil does kind of stick to the paper. Once it's on that monitor, it's very hard to see the pencil you've applied. That's why I said it's hard to see whether you've gone over certain areas. But trust me, the pencil will show up even if you're not applying lots of pressure. You don't need to really push your pencil into the monitor, because I don't want you guys to scratch your monitors and to like break them or crack them or anything. Also with the tape, when I put it on, you can make it a bit less sticky by just pulling it on the back of your hand a bit first. And when I take it off, I do it really, really slowly. I don't just rip the tape off. I'm really, really slow when I do that. You'll see in a minute how slowly I take off a piece of the tape. It is so slow, and you need to do that so that you're not kind of pulling at the monitor. Just really slowly take that tape off. But yeah, that's basically all there is to this method. All you have to do is, I recommend turning it into sketch mode first. It makes your job so much easier to see all of those distinct outlines, and it's easier to see what you have to sketch out, and it gives you a really nice perfect sketch every time. And in the next video, we're going to be going through how you can use a grid method to get an accurate sketch. And so this will take a bit more skill, because you don't have to just trace it out. You've got to like use your observational skills. But yeah, so that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I know a lot of you wanted to see how I use the monitor to create the sketch, and also how I turn the photo into like a sketch mode so that it's easier to see the outlines. So I hope you found it useful. As you can see, I'm just very slowly taking off that tape so it doesn't damage the monitor. So now you'll see a picture of the actual sketch. So there you go. Like I said, there is a lot of detail on there, so you might want to erase bits so it's easier to follow. But that's it for today's tutorial, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!